Welcome back to Chi-Town Lowdown. Week 14, picks against the spread. The NFL season is moving along very nicely. Week 13 was a great week. No teams were on bye. We had 16 games to pick from. Let's dive into how we did. Luke was at the top of the leaderboard heading into last week, and he will maintain that spot. He went 10 for 16 on picks. His lock was Cincinnati, so he didn't hit that, but he did hit on 10 of the 16 games. So that brings his season total to 116 out of 192. Second place, Tom broke the streak of them being tied in their picks. He was 9 for 16. His lock did hit on Seattle, so good job there.
2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, season totals 114 for 192. So he's trailing Luke by 2 games. I was 10 for 16 last week as well. My lock with the Chargers did hit. That brings my season total to 101 out of 192. So I'm pretty far behind my two pod mates down below here. And then Wargo was 6 for 16. So his season total is 97 for 192. Not his best week, but you know what?
Hey, I want you to finish strong.
Yeah.
Luke picked against the Steelers in his lock. That's kind of crazy.
What if we do double points for playoff games or something like that?
We'll discuss that off.
No, I'm fine. I'm fine with losing. I don't want to come back.
Let's take that offline, Tom. We'll take that offline.
Yeah.
So, like and subscribe our page. Stay tuned with the picks throughout the rest of the season. We'll do this into the playoffs. We'll do it for the big game when that comes around. And then go to X and like our X page, Chi-Town_Lowdown. We'll make sure that we get our lock picks out to you there, and you can share your best bets with us. So,
and we're always having fun here at Chi-Town Lowdown, but we're serious.
Yeah.
We know football, we know ball, we know football, we know how to pick games.
Yeah, and if you want to, even if you don't have anything nice to say, comment anyways, right?
Yeah.
Like if you think
have a bad face,
and that we're ugly and that we don't know ball, then throw it on the page. We'll interact with you. We'll talk shit, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, 13 games this week, 6 teams on bye. Last week with teams on bye, and for most fantasy football leagues, last regular season week of fantasy football. So a lot of implications going on here, but we're just going to dig into the picks against the spread. Thursday night game, NFC North matchup. Green Bay is going to Detroit, and Detroit is a 3-point favorite at home.
Interesting. I thought it'd be a little more.
Who's going to kick us off?
Thought
it was going to be a little more. Expand on that for us.
Yeah, my logic doesn't make sense here because I picked. Shut up.
In your defense, Tom, the line opened at -3.5, so it has moved a little bit in favor of the Packers, right? We're going to saying that right?
Yes.
But I was thinking I was going to pick the Green Bay Packers anyways, because I think they're hitting their stride a little bit, just like they kind of did last year. I don't know really how well they played in the beginning of the year last year, to be honest, but it seems like a familiar storyline. Young team, looking good, coming into the playoffs. It looks like they're shoe fit, like Detroit, Minnesota, Green Bay, all looking like they're going to be in the playoffs. So
shoe in,
basically.
I heard shoe fit.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're shoe fit to make the playoffs, basically.
True. Yes.
I'm going to be with Tom here. I'm on Green Bay. Detroit's front seven is experiencing some injuries that all kind of began with Aiden Hutchinson earlier in the year. Some of these other guys that they brought in and that have had to step up into some starting and some more heavily playtime roles for this defense, they're getting banged up a little bit. if you watch that game against the Bears, I mean, there was a lot of injury timeouts, injury TV timeouts. I think
that music.
Yeah. So, yeah, I like Green Bay. I think they're a little healthier. They already dropped one to Detroit in Green Bay. I think they get them back here. So I'm going to take them.
I'm going to swim in Jesse's wake and also go with Green Bay for a lot of the same reasons. We were banging those guys up out there. We were banging them from behind sometimes.
When a guy is banging you.
Correct.
Not Charles Barkley?
King of references. I'm glad you got that one. That was exactly what I was. And you know what? I like the over here, 51.5. We could go into the 70s. We're going crazy. Detroit has no defense, so it seems. And Green Bay, their defense is like here and there. So, yeah, we're not picking that, but just
Look,
a little sprinkle.
This is an obvious pick for you, right?
I'm going Detroit.
Oh,
and feels like this one is like, normally I don't like to do the like, okay, everybody's picked in front of me. They're all on one side. I'm going to go the opposite, try and pick up a point here. This feels like a really good opportunity to do so. Detroit, obviously, they've won, I think, like 9 in a row. Green Bay's won 7 out of 8, and obviously they lost the first game in the series this year. And a lot of times when teams are comparable, you'll see them trade games. But I think Detroit will probably really use the close game against an inferior opponent last week with a literal like moron coaching on the sideline and say like, hey, we could have lost to that team, right? So like, let's not get too far ahead of our skis here and think that we're something we're not. Let's take this next game against the Packers seriously and get back on the right track. This is the type of motivation tactics you see with a team that is winning a lot of games. Like, you can't just be like, oh, well, we lost the last one. No, you haven't lost any last ones in the last 9. So you manufacture that motivation by saying, we almost lost to a completely incompetent team. Well, let's make sure against a team that's closer to our level, we show them who's boss this week. So give me Detroit -3 at home.
Did you guys see the Dan Campbell when he walked off the press conference? That was so funny.
I did not. No.
he was like with what's the running back Gibbs? He did like a TikTok or something with like calls in the background, and the reporter told
Dan Campbell.
Yeah, at the press conference, and he was like, "Oh, really?" And he just had to go take care of it at that moment. Like he was like, "Oh shit."
They had all their play checks.
Yeah.
And like calls on the whiteboard in the background.
Yeah.
And yeah, the press broke it to Campbell that happened, and he was clearly pissed.
Yeah.
Gibbs won't do that again.
No. He went and handled that right then.
Next game, Carolina at Philadelphia -12.5 points.
Listen, you're gonna pick Carolina again, you sucker.
I'm going to switch to Detroit on the last game.
2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
2 weeks in a row.
I'm switching to Detroit on the last game. Sorry.
Oh, shit.
Luke made a lot of good points, and I'm just going to swim in his wake, actually. I'm going to follow him, not you, Jesse.
Stop saying swim in his wake. I don't like that.
12.5 points. Carolina has lost the last 4 games by a collective 10 points. One of those teams was Kansas City. Another one of those teams was Tampa Bay. Not necessarily bad teams. Philadelphia, though, is on another level right now. They are hot. They are sizzling. But I think there's something going on with this Carolina team. I think there is, and this spread's pretty big. I'm gonna take Carolina. They're fighting. They got a lot of grit, and maybe Philly is a little complacent this week with Carolina. So Panthers.
I think this is a spot where Philly's going to look to embarrass an inferior team going into the later half of the season here. So, yeah, I'm just going to go with Philly on that alone.
I'm having a hard time because I do believe that the Panthers are showing some fight and are actually like out of all the bad teams right now, like they have been like a pretty competent football team, and their quarterback's playing great. Bryce Young's playing great. They're gonna have a hard decision at the end of the year now, how he's been playing. So it's at home though, Philly. I gotta pick Philly here. Saquon's gonna just in the third quarter he might have 200 yards in the second half.
200 yards in the second half.
Yeah, alone. Like he'll get like 50 in the first half and then just break off 290 yards.
I'm a little bit torn on this one. Like Jesse said, Carolina's been playing some close games. I don't think that in the last four they've faced competition quite this tough.
Trap game.
Yeah, who's Philly got next week? Do we know?
Washington?
You're calling out trap game, just like it's a trap game no matter what.
Pittsburgh.
Is it Cowboys or Washington?
That is a potential trap game because obviously Pittsburgh next week is something, like those are two playoff teams. Obviously Carolina's not in that same conversation. So I think you can throw this in trap game category, but I'm gonna go with Philly to maybe just pull away late. I could see Carolina kind of keeping it close for a while, but I do think Philly's playing really well right now, so I'll take them as well. We'll let Jesse try and squeak another one out with Carolina.
Las Vegas at Tampa Bay, minus 6.5.
Go Baker. Go Bucks. Love them here.
Yeah, I think that
it's a lock category.
This is a bounce back game for Baker. After not playing so well last week, I think he's going to have a little bit of a chip on his shoulder, and we all know how he plays with the chip on his shoulder.
Yeah. He's not going to like Max Crosby calling him a little ass boy, I can tell you that. And he's definitely going to be calling him that. So
he might be doing some – what is that? What did he do in New York? That was good.
Tom, you should watch this show called The Sopranos on HBO.
It's pretty good.
You'll understand.
It's this. Yeah.
It's the Tommy DeVito thing.
Yeah.
Italian thing.
Yeah. I liked it a lot.
Speaking of things you should watch on HBO, Hard Knocks just came out.
Luke's. Oh yeah.
I'm still watching Dexter.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely do like Tampa Bay here. It seems too obvious, though, is the only thing that gives me a little pause. Looking at the spread of the money line, spread of the bets in terms of what's been taken where, just got to go with Tampa Bay. Just kidding. I'm going to go with the Raiders.
The Raiders.
Yep. It's a spot for me. And this is a spot for the Raiders.
Were you on the Buccaneers as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't we also have is Gardner coming back?
No, he broke his arm or something. Right?
Okay. Yeah, he's on IR. No, yeah, that's my bad.
Brock Bowers is a freak, yo.
He is. And
you know what I'm saying?
He needs to shave his head.
He does need to shave his head.
Let it go.
The Raiders have the number one strength of schedule played. Since they had their last win, which was in week 4 against the Browns, they have played the Broncos, the Steelers, the Rams, the Chiefs, the Bengals, the Dolphins, the Broncos again, and then the Chiefs again. That is a grinder, right? Oh. They covered in 3 of those games.
Not so good.
And they covered last week against the Chiefs. They covered against the Chiefs twice.
Are you trying to flip me, or you're not doing a great job?
I'm going to go with Las Vegas. I liked what they did last week. It was really unfortunate what happened at the end of that game. Black Friday got the best of them, but they should have walked off that field victorious. I feel for Aiden O'Connell and that rookie.
It wasn't even his fault.
What was the center doing? What are you doing?
Dude, he had winning in his eyes.
This Tampa Bay defense is susceptible. Taking Las Vegas.
What do we got next?
Atlanta at Minnesota -6.
I didn't see Atlanta's game last week at all, really. But 4 interceptions is just tough. Is he old? What's going on?
Yeah, I talked about this early in the year. I think it was week 2 or week 3. Kirk, when he's throwing the ball, it's really looking like he's really having to really put a lot of his body motion behind it, and it's still like that. There's no zip. There's none.
It's funny you bring that up because the hot topic recurring theme on a lot of the talk shows this week has been this new stat that's been uncovered where they're literally tracking velocity on throws. And apparently Kirk Cousins is basically he's like coach's pitch right now. When it falls on, you want to put it on a scale of like T-ball to Paul Skeens, right? Kirk Cousins is a coach's pitch, right? So we all know what that looks like. Apparently Jesse's theory about Kirk Cousins really laboring through these throws, there's something to it. The eye test is
What was it before? That's what I would like to know. Like 2 years ago, what was his zing?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think this stat just became a thing this week, based on what I've seen.
I've heard they want to bench him for Penix, dude.
Yeah, so I was going to say the same thing, Tom. I didn't see any of the game either, but I did hear the same thing, that there was Penix, people wanting him to come into the game, or even potentially replace Kirk moving forward.
Seems preposterous.
It does seem a little bit preposterous, but it feels like the Falcons should be better than 6-6 right now. And I'm sure as a Falcons fan, it's very frustrating. I get, believe me, I understand the feeling. What it can be like to have a team that feels like they're not living up to their potential. Minnesota been winning a lot of close games, which, that's great, but it's also a little bit worrisome. It's like, it's one little thing going to go wrong, and then all of a sudden this is going to go haywire. I am going to go with Atlanta in this one. Thinking my thought is that they've got to win this game to stay right there with Tampa Bay in the NFC South. So I will take them to keep it close.
Yes, me too. All the same reasons. I see this as a similar game to the Vikings game last week, where they were just barely able to beat the Cardinals, but honestly, they probably should have lost that game. But the Cardinals were able to cover the spread. I see that being the case here, where the Vikings win, but it's fairly close. So I'm going to take Atlanta.
We're good.
It seems like a narrative that could be possible. When you look at the spread, money coming in, percentage of bets versus percentage of money, the money's on Minnesota, but the bets are on Atlanta.
Yeah, but it's not the discrepancy is only 5%, so it's not like it's that much.
Not
bigger.
On the money,
I mean, bigger bets are
coming
coming.
On the money,
bigger bets are coming in on Minnesota. Yes.
Right. But I'm not going to let that influence me. I think that Atlanta does cover here. Minnesota's shown that they can bleed. Atlanta's going to come in, try and kill it. It's at home. Yeah, Skull, give me Minnesota at home. Sorry, I didn't realize that.
I want to pick Atlanta as well.
Weather game, Tom. This is a weather game.
Oh, I need to look at the weathers.
It's in a dome.
I know, but Bijan, they gave the ball to Bijan, I think, over 30 times last week. Wow. So
Based on how badly Jesse beat me last week, I'd say that's probably a pretty good chance, though.
Yeah.
You have him in one of the leagues.
But with Jesse's point about them covering, it seems
touches,
like Minnesota's in games like 20-19, 14-16, like weird games. And 6 is a lot. And they just have Justin Jefferson and Hawkinson now is kind of emerging, but and they have
3 words, Tom. 3 words for you. 7-year bump. Do you believe it or do you not believe it?
Told you guys.
You need to pick with your heart.
And
he told us, and he's on Minnesota.
Yeah, I am.
All right. Cleveland at Pittsburgh, -6.5 points.
Pittsburgh. Give me Pittsburgh this game. Cleveland. I love Jameson. It's crazy. He's just so – I don't know what he is, but he's just television. And we were talking in the Hard Knocks thing. How exciting is that going to be? Is that out yet?
Yeah.
I think the first episode was last night.
Yeah, I don't watch it, but it looks fun.
I said that earlier.
Oh, you did? Sorry.
No, it's all good, man.
Thanks. Pittsburgh lost to them, a couple weeks back, and I think this is a little bit of a redemption game for Pittsburgh, and they get the job done.
What about the defense of Cleveland, Tom?
They're all right.
Myles Garrett.
Yeah, they're pretty good. I mean, with an offense that's actually like playing pretty decent, the Browns defense has kind of come along, minus Sunday night or Monday where they played the Denver.
That was tough. Yeah.
But in theory they're a good defense. So.
All right. Just wanted to throw that stick between your rollerblades. I'm also going to be on Pittsburgh. Oh.
You're on Pittsburgh?
Where'd Jesse go?
We don't let it affect us.
He'll come back. I'm on Pittsburgh. I think Russell Wilson is going to be linking up, going downfield early, going downfield often.
How long Jesse's power went out? It's very windy.
It is very windy.
You went dark there for a second, and then
we'll get Jesse's picks coming back around.
Just a well-coached organization versus the Browns. Give me Pittsburgh. Yeah.
I'm on Cleveland because if you look at what Wargo was referencing in that last game, money versus bets. 26% of the bets on Cleveland, 46% of the money. So some bigger bets are coming in on Cleveland. That makes me think some sharps, some smart money's coming. So I'm gonna take Cleveland in this one.
Did your power just go out? What happened to you?
Yeah. Mariah had 2 space heaters and she was trying to curl her hair and she was trying to vacuum at the same time.
Yeah. Hey, that's a productive girl. That's awesome.
Kudos to her. That's a big
I'm on Pittsburgh for this one. I think that the loss to Cleveland a couple weeks ago is probably weighing heavily on them. Tomlin's probably coming up with some just absurd motivation tactics for this game, so I'll take Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Next game, while Jesse takes a break here, we're looking at the New York Jets in division at Miami. Miami is favored by 6 in this one. Speaking of television premieres, they just dropped the trailer for the new Aaron Rodgers
docu-series
on Netflix. I will not be watching that. I hope no one else will. We can't feed into this. We can't make him think that we care because we do not. Boycott the show. Boycott this man. Let's get him out of our lives.
Not because he just was a Packer.
Let him move to some Peruvian countryside and just live his life on another plane or in another dimension with whatever, extraterrestrial beings he wants to, because his family's already disowned him. Yeah. Right? So let us all just join in that and just be done.
And that's what I'm doing
this week. That's what I'm doing this week by taking the Dolphins -6.
I am too taking the Dolphins. This Jets team is kind of a joke, and as long as Tyreek Hill doesn't speed on the way to the game, we'll be good.
Yep. Jalen?
I don't have my statistics here, so I'm just going off feel and what I feel in here, in my heart. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And what I feel in my heart is that I like the Fins. I like the Fins here. I picked the Jets last week. That was dumb. I'm not going to be dumb again. I'm taking Tua. I'm taking Achane. Taking Reek and the Dolphins defense that's been playing better. So the Jets are just dysfunctional organization. They're really struggling. I hope Breece Hall has a good game, but other than that,
we're up.
Yeah, I too like Miami here. I kind of like the over, being that it's in Miami, but
76 and sunny, I think. Ooh.
Right, it's gonna be a great place. So I think the Jets have kind of started to turn over a new leaf, but by and large, Dolphins are playing a lot better at this current time. They've turned it around a lot quicker than the Jets have. I think they're gonna fizzle out, like Jesse said. So. Give me Tua throwing darts downfield to Tyreek Hill, baby, all day.
I'm switching to New York.
Fuck. God damn it.
Why? What got you?
I don't really know. It's just something.
No, stop, Luke. We don't need to hear it.
You went on that monologue about.
I still feel the same way. Nothing's changed, but I'm going to take the Jets to cover.
I hate you.
Nothing crazy this week weather-wise, other than it doesn't tell me the wind on this site that I'm at, and I know that there's some wind out there. It's only Wednesday, so it might be out. The Alberta Clippers coming through. My Canadian accent's very bad, so it should be out of here. Actually, now that I think about it.
Next game. Thank you for the weather update.
Thanks, jerk.
New Orleans at the New York Giants, plus 4.5 points.
New Orleans.
Are you keeping the Google Doc for me while I'm getting everything updated here?
I know I'm not keeping the Google Doc, but I've got everything written down, hard copy, pen and paper, baby.
All right.
This might be blank because I live in 1907.
I love it.
Why'd you stop doing the Google Doc?
My power went out when my computer shut down.
All right, whatever, dude.
Tom's on New Orleans.
Right.
I am torn on this one because I couldn't care less about this game. I want to see the Giants go even deeper and farther into the abyss. I think the only person that could be more deserving of losing their job than Eberflus is this GM for the Giants. Somehow he's still around. Been awfully quiet as of late. And I'm sure that's just out of, his own sort of interest in keeping his job. But I'll go New Orleans here.
Let me get this right. We're all on Pitt except for Jesse.
Yep.
And we're all on Miami except for you, Luke.
Correct.
Okay. And then you just picked the Giants.
I am on New Orleans with you.
Oh, okay.
I'm on New Orleans as well. This Giants team, I've been saying it this way the third week. tank for Shador. They are trying to lose football games without coming out and directly saying it. I don't think it's close. I like New Orleans just the way they match up against this team that's not being put in a position to win football games. A little bit of hesitancy with it being on the road, but I don't think that's going to matter much for the Saints. So I'll take them.
Yeah, kind of crazy the line here, honestly. That's what I was most looking at is 4.5. It seems like it should be more, but I guess home field advantage. But, I mean, to your point, Jesse, they're trying to lose games at this point, so the franchise has most likely abandoned them. I mean, they're 2-10. Yeah, give me the Saints there. The matchup is it's incredible. So
I think I said this last week. Poor New York, they're having a tough year. I mean, they did go to the World Series, but
they suck.
Yeah, football-wise, they suck.
How did Aaron Judge drop that ball, dude?
That was bad.
What is he doing?
That was bad. Next game?
Next game is Jacksonville at Tennessee. Both these teams, I don't really know what they're playing for at this point in the year. Maybe some sort of memorial type game for Trevor Lawrence, having just been decapitated last week. Hate to see that. Tough look for Al-Shahir, who had punched Roshan Johnson in the face earlier this year.
Great guy.
If anybody remembers that.
Great guy.
Dirtbag alert. Watch out. No, but that's a tough play, honestly. Like,
I didn't like it.
He probably could have laid off, but I don't know. It like 10 years ago, that's literally just like not. It's like not even a conversation. It's just like Trevor Lawrence got jacked up. Alive. We used to have a segment that we all cheered and celebrated for, and now we're like, this is disgusting. I hate it. And it's like, come on. Like,
we just don't like when they go into the fencing. It's just so hard to watch.
The fencing it's graphic. It is, but it is, it's just, you're going to see that every once in a while with football, right? We've all been there. We've all fenced at some point or another. With that being said, I am going to do what I do every week, and I'm going to convince myself that a team that is 2-10 against the spread is going to cover. And that's Tennessee, because this is the week, baby.
I mean, they don't have Lawrence, and Tennessee's actually been playing all right. I mean, Levis is limiting his turnovers. Pollard is looking like the Cowboys. I don't know what they were doing because they have no. Well, actually, yeah, they have no run game. I don't know. This Tennessee Titans team's been looking all right. So, and with no Trevor Lawrence and this, I don't know how Doug Peterson's not fired by now. But
you don't want to go with Mac Jones and the Jags?
No.
Sure.
He did dice it up the second half of that game that Trevor got hurt.
Didn't look bad.
Majority of bets are coming in on Tennessee here. I'm gonna
fade them.
Fade.
You're the only
I see with Jacksonville. I think Mac Jones has gotten enough playtime this year where he's going to feel comfortable against this Tennessee defense that struggled a little bit.
Comfortable and Mac Jones don't go together.
They still have some weapons offensively. You might see something out of ETN this week, Tom.
I would hope so.
You might see a little bit
of starting running back along with who? Jerome Ford.
A little double E.
He's projected like 13
and then the mac
points.
And cheese. So yeah, give me
Mac with a cheesy
what
wrap.
do you have in this one?
Tennessee.
That's good. Historically, when Wargo and I team up and Luke and Tom team up on a game, me and Wargo do not do well.
Wargo took Tennessee.
I know. That's why I'm glad he didn't take
Jackson. Dang, low blow, bro. What are you gonna say to that?
I mean, it's nothing against him. It's just I don't.
No, whatever, dude. I have one bad week. Dude.
This is on the jerk-o-meter.
One bad week.
Seattle at Arizona -3 points. Rematch of this divisional game that we saw a few weeks ago in Seattle, where Seattle was able to pull that off. I think, with this line, the expectation is Arizona is going to be able to do the same thing now that they're on their home turf. Coming off a tough loss in Minnesota, they need a win in this tight NFC West race for the division. And, it could be one of those where it's just, it's going to be a close game, but they're going to swap the home games, right? So Seattle got theirs. Arizona is probably going to get this one. I'll take Arizona on this spread.
Wargo, why are you shaking your head? What do you got?
I just feel like Arizona versus the Seattle Seahawks. It's a storied rivalry here.
Yo, this is insane. 88% of the money is coming in on Seattle on this spread. 75% of the bets.
Right.
Just 12% of the money on the Cardinals.
And,
right?
And you think you're big brain in this pick, and you think you're going to go with the Cardinals at home.
Vegas, not in the business of losing money.
I want to go with the public here. Seattle Seahawks are playing way too well. The way that they match up with the Cardinals, I mean, Budda Baker can only cover so many guys, and last time I checked, Seattle Seahawks have a lot of guys. Geno Wilson, top 5 quarterback, according to Nolan. We've got – did I say Geno Wilson again? God damn it. But Metcalf coming back. He's questionable. I do just like the matchup as a whole against the Cardinals here. So, yeah, we'll go with the Seahawks on the road.
I'm going to keep riding with the Seahawks as well. Three in a row here. I don't know. The Cardinals are on a little bit of a skid. Not playing as good as they have been. Well as they have been. I don't know. Something just tell me keep riding with Seahawks.
Kenneth Walker, dude.
Yeah.
I'm going with the Cardinals with my big bro here. I think,
I feel like when you guys team up, it's usually bad for me and Wargo.
I was going to say that as well, yeah.
I think that this division is going to be just very tight until the bitter end, which means Arizona will even up the season series against Seattle. They'll move to 7-6, and Seattle will also go to 7-6 with a loss, and they'll be in a dead heat. So, give me Arizona to cover.
Okay.
Awesome. Something to monitor here. I was looking at these two team schedules coming up. Seahawks have, after this game, Green Bay, Minnesota, Chicago, LA Rams.
So
the Cardinals, on the other hand, have New England, Carolina, LA Rams, San Francisco. So Seattle may feel they need this game now.
That's true.
But, Arizona, they probably feel the same way, but not as much urgency, I wouldn't guess. All right. Next game, Chicago at San Francisco, -4 points.
Go Bears. We talked about it at our other segment. Well, I guess we did.
69% of the bets, 41% of the money coming in on the Bears. That's all those sad, hopeful.
I mean, we're going to get the interim coach bump.
Deranged Bears fans.
I was trying to point to Tom. Tom's this way, but my brain was telling me to point this way. Tom said it. Tom said it.
Yeah, that one.
Head coach bump. It's scientific fact. And this team, news came out today. Thomas Brown has lost 22 pounds since taking over play calling duties.
Love that.
By the year as the head coach, this man's looking at maybe sub 150 right?
Over the Thanksgiving holiday.
We're going to need to hook him up to an IV drip and just ensure that his heart keeps pumping.
Yeah, that worries me a little bit.
Talk about a guy that maybe gets the bump on the bump, like taking over. He'd already shown some potential as the play caller. He seems to have a little more fire, a little more sort of disciplined approach. I think this team, like Jesse pointed out in the Bears recap, this is your weekly reminder, go watch the Bears recap, like and subscribe. But Jesse had pointed out in the Bears recap that this team is in perfect position to do what they do. Win out, miss the playoffs, mess up our draft, screw up the offseason, get my hopes up, create some sort of delusional cloud over this team that makes everyone think that it is something that it's not, when in reality it's just the same thing as always. It's like it's
Luke, we just proved a little bit of that with firing him in season. We're changing. We're changing with the times.
I like that take, Tom. It's good stuff.
Good point.
Ryan Poles.
I'm on Chicago as well.
Yeah.
Wargo, you're on Chicago, right?
Yeah. No, I am.
Chicago.
It's just too much. San Francisco sucks.
Bears haven't lost a game by more than 3 points since the Patriots. All right.
Patriots are ass.
What about Arizona? Was that after the Patriots? God, that just all.
Sure was, Tom. Buffalo at LA Rams plus 3.5 points.
3.5?
This one's intriguing.
3.5?
Yeah,
Give
what do
the
you
Bills
Long
on
flight.
record.
Long flight.
Oh
Long
my
flight
God.
alert.
90% of the money is coming in on the Bills.
Matthew Stafford is questionable. I know.
That may be the biggest figure we've seen. Bills have covered 6 of the last 7 games. The only team they didn't cover against was Miami.
I don't know if it was a snow game last week or what, but I think the Bills are having fun, and I think they're going to win the Super Bowl.
Oh, damn.
So Tom's on the Bills.
Yeah.
I see this game being I predict that Painter is going to be sending a screenshot of a bet slip with like an 8-leg parlay and Rams money line being the last thing in it, and he's going to be like, one away. I was one away. $1,500. And I could see them keeping this close, but not coming through for Painter on the money line.
3.5 is wild, right?
I do think it's
wild. How?
I do think it's an appropriate line.
Okay.
I think the Rams can keep this close at home. The Bills obviously played kind of a wonky game last week against San Francisco and all that snow. You're probably, it's not like real football. Like nobody can like keep their footing. Everybody's just trying to not fall over and slip the entire game. Christian McCaffrey's ligaments are exploding like, fireworks on the 4th of July. And
when he went down on that hit, I knew he did something. After he tried to break, he was about to break away, and he just got shoestring tackled. And I was like, he just hurt something.
Yeah.
And sure enough, he did. Anyway.
I really like Buffalo too, Tom. They've kind of probably gone above the hype that I had previously been spewing about the Steelers on the AFC side. I do like what the Bills are doing, especially Josh Allen. He's just like, he has the like, fuck it, we ball button. Just like, there's the little plastic protector over the nukes, and you got to like lift it up to press it. He just ripped that shit right off, and he can just press that thing whenever he wants. And that's what he is. He is a nuclear missile. He can just go off whenever he chooses to.
So
Fun to
Buffalo.
watch.
Rams are 6-6 though, just like the Cardinals, just like Seattle, and I think they're going to play tough at home. Give me the Rams to cover in this. Keep it close. I don't know what it is. Just give me the Rams. Love Josh Allen though.
I love Matthew Stafford until he's on my fantasy team.
The Bills are 3-0 against the Rams NFC West companions this year. They have not won. They have not, or their margin of victory, the smallest margin of victory in those 3 matchups was 6 points. That was against the Cardinals. They beat the Niners by 25. They beat the Seahawks by 21. I'm going to go with Buffalo.
Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, I would like to think that the Rams could put up a fight here at home. Seems like they're well equipped too. Cooper Kupp, Matthew Stafford, getting a few things going. Kyron's, yeah.
Puka.
I'll ride with Luke. Luke's a smart guy.
I'm switching to the Bills actually.
God damn it!
I'm switching.
I saw it.
His point about the margin of victory over NFC West to opponents. That was a good stat. Sometimes it's just like a good stat, you know.
Where do you get these stats at? Statfinder.com? What the hell?
Speaking of good stats,
It's on PFF.
Speaking of good stats, I think I mentioned this to Jesse the other night at our younger brother's basketball game. Jameis Winston, if you include his interception yardage from the other night, had more passing yards than any player in the history of a single game. He had nearly 700 passing yards, including the 3 interception yards, or the 3 interceptions that he had in that game. He almost had 500 yards passing without the interceptions. But if you add those in, nearly 700 yards passing. And I had said, if there's any one player that's going to hold that record, it's going to be Jameis Winston.
Yeah. Most amazing man on turf is what I'm calling him.
Also, I'm switching to the Bills. You can't fade me like that, Luke. Fuck you. I'm going to grab the Bills with you.
Okay. I kind of felt you coming that way, and I felt bad. That's why I just immediately switched so that it
No, it was disrespectful. It was. You waited for me to finish my pick, and then you faded me immediately.
Sunday night football. Chargers at Chiefs, -4.
Chiefs -4? Oh, yeah.
Give me the Chargers here. I'm sick of the Chiefs. I'm sick of Patrick Mahomes. I'm sick of the Chiefs.
I'm never sick of the Chiefs. Give me the Chiefs.
Spread, though. Chiefs are bad against the spread.
The Chiefs are bad against the spread. They're 4-7-1, but 81% of the money is coming in on the Chargers on this spread. And I don't believe the Chargers were able to cover. Oh, it was a push. It was a push in the first matchup.
I just worry about the run game.
Ooh, tell me more.
What don't you like about Gus Bus?
He's just, he's Gus Bus. That's what he is. He moves slowly and into the. He's like a bus in the city.
Yeah, not a lot of maneuverability. I know what you mean.
They got another guy though. Vidal.
Yeah, he's all right. He didn't play much last week.
I'm gonna be on the Chargers.
He's gonna be on the Chargers.
I don't like Jesse's face tonight. Wargo?
Wait, what did you just say?
He said he doesn't like my face tonight.
Oh, I thought he said he wanted to punch you in the face tonight.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far.
All right. Yeah. I like Casey here. They're not great, but they need to make a statement. They're at home, Arrowhead. It's going to be favorable.
They're always at home.
What's that?
How many home games do they got this year?
It's a good point. Is Taylor going to be there?
Sunday Night Football? Are you kidding? Come on.
Yeah, she'll be rocking.
Come on now.
She's feeling depressed after her Eras tour is coming to an end. But fans speculate.
Straight
I feel
there.
like the Eras tour has been coming to an end for like a year and a half.
Fans are speculating that something big is coming. She's doing something on stage that makes her feel like something else is coming. That's a headline I read.
Speaking of something else coming, what's our final game of the week, Jesse?
Monday Night Football, Cincinnati at Dallas, plus 5.5 points.
Ooh, a stinker. We got a stinker. We haven't had much stinkers this week.
Joe Burrow is looking for blood in this one. I mean, I can't imagine what kind of mood he's in. He's got to be no fun to be around. Pissed off all the time. Tips completely frosted. Can't get any more frosted. And he's probably just like, I've wasted this entire year with these idiots. T. Higgins, he can't catch a ball cleanly. It's insanity. Everything is like 3 bobbles and then a catch or a drop. Chase Brown, shout out Chase Brown. Single-handedly carried me throughout the year, fantasy-wise. Love that guy. Love his spirit. Love his aura, as the kids would say. I'm going to go Cincy here to, salvage some self-respect as they close out the year.
I'm taking Dallas, prime time at home. Cincinnati's defense couldn't stop. I don't know, like, what's something that would be easy to stop? They can't stop much.
It's like shooting fish in a barrel.
Yeah. This could be 50 to 47.
I think Cooper Rush is going to put up 40, 50?
I like the home team in prime time. I like the home team in prime time, especially the home team that's on a 2-game win streak that's building confidence. Deep defense is playing better. I'm going to take them boys.
Morgo? I'll close this out.
Yeah, I mean, I do like them boys. I've never been hesitant to pick them boys. We've got Cooper Rush going to be slanging that thing. We've got CeeDee Lamb.
He might be hurt.
We've been seeing Zeke featured as well, which is pretty wild. And not in a bad light so much recently as it was in the beginning of the season, where it was just god awful every time we got on the field. So I think the boys have a few things rolling for them here. Covering, 5.5 at home is just disrespectful. I feel like
they've only won one home game
in prime time. In prime time, 5.
Tom's getting the stats now.
That's just off the nog, dog.
Yeah, but how many?
'Tis the season.
How many games did they cover at home?
I don't know.
The nog.
Yeah, didn't think you had that one, but
it's one as well.
God damn it.
But
I'm looking at it right
recency
now.
bias, it was the last game.
Yeah. No, I like the momentum. I've been saying that.
I like Rico Dowdle
games.
in your defense.
What, Tom?
Rico Dowdle's looking good. I couldn't remember his name earlier, but I remembered it now. Looking good.
What a made-up sounding name.
Rico
Dowdle, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember, yeah. I didn't know anything about him coming into this year, and then he was on our fantasy, and everybody was like, you need to pick up Rico Dowdle, later, all that jazz. Joe Burrow, his hair, that maybe was the mistake of the year for the Bengals. Maybe it was the hair. But, yeah, I'm going to take the Bengals. Their offense is just really good still.
They don't have a problem scoring points.
All right, folks, there you have it. Week 13 picks against the spread. We are going to get our locks in right now.
Oh, shoot. I always forget about locks, y'all. Oh, no. Dude, we need a music right now while we all look at our locks.
Yeah, if we could play the Jeopardy
Yeah.
Give me Pittsburgh at home.
Pittsburgh for Wargo.
I almost want to go Minnesota here, but I ain't. That's stupid.
I'll take.
I just took everyone's lock, and they don't want to be on the same thing as me.
What? Oh, Pittsburgh. Well, I picked Cleveland in that game, so I'm gonna pick Buffalo to cover against the Rams.
I was looking at that one. I might
D-Gens. Buffalo.
I might make just the shock lock of the week. I'm gonna take Tennessee.
Oh wow!
Holy
That's
cow!
insane. Love it. The shock lock.
I'm thinking of doing something equally as shocking.
All right.
I have no idea why.
The Jets. You're an idiot. Don't do it.
Jets.
And 14 points in the first quarter last week. 21.
Luke, why?
Yeah, I don't know why. That's why it's shocking. Because I still don't even know why I switched.
If it's
like an enigma. We don't.
What's speaking to me is Cincy, though.
All right, lock them in. Final answers.
Detroit.
I'm gonna go Tennessee. I was talking them up. I think they're playing better. Boom, lock.
You know what? Fuck it. I'll go the Bears. How about that? That crazy,
my boy?
So, I think that's the most we've ever switched. I'm not switching. I'm sticking on Buffalo. Wargo's on the Bears. Luke's on Detroit. Tom's on Tennessee.
Never thought I heard that one before.
Week 14 picks against the spread.
Oh, shit. Week 14 picks against the spread. My bad. Damn. We edit that out.
We got to do a whole new video.
The ability to edit anything. This is what is essentially a live show, one take, and that's just because that's how we do it.
Yeah.
And on that note, thank you for tuning in. As always, like and subscribe. Go watch the Bears recap. Follow us on YouTube. Follow us on X. Drop us a like. Drop us a comment. Hate mail. It's all appreciated. Love you guys. We'll see you next week.
Go Bears. The Bears.